You're watching the SCAC Men's Basketball Media Days. It's day 3, and it's time to take a look at the University of Dallas men's basketball program. Of course, the Crusaders coming off a 15-11 season last year, 8-6 in SCAC play, and another trip to the SCAC tournament. The Crusaders will be once again led heading into the season by head coach Jared Samples, along with sophomore guard Michael Wambsganss. Coach Michael, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us, Russell.
Thank you.
Coach, I'll start with you. Going into your 11th season there at Dallas, what do you enjoy most about this time of the season with respect to the work that has to be put in during camp? And what's the most important, part of camp in terms of setting up this team for success heading into the year?
This time of year is always exciting, one, just to finally get going, and every year's different. You have a new team every year, so just to see how the chemistry is going to develop with the guys and how they're going to come together as a group is always intriguing. So that's the best part of the beginning of the year, because like I said, every year is different and each group is different. So looking forward to see how this turns out for us this year with the guys that we have. The beginning of the year is so important to lay the foundation, I think, what it's going to take to be successful during the year. And everyone talks about the fundamentals and the details, and those are things you have to work on early from day one and continue to get better each day with those, and hopefully by the time games roll around you're ready to go and give it what you got.
Michael, for you in your sophomore season, heading into your second camp there at Dallas, what's kind of your mindset heading in this year? Obviously, as a freshman a year ago, didn't really know what to expect, but you come in with a big returning sophomore class and really a young team. So I would expect as a sophomore, coach is going to lean on you, even though you're in your second year, to kind of fill up one of those leadership roles. What is your sort of mindset heading into this season?
Well, coming off my freshman year, I was able to really learn a lot from a lot of the older guys, and coming into my second season, I was able to take a lot of my experiences from last year and just help lead by example to the younger guys. And it's been this second year, I sort of learned about what the grind is, how the season's a lot longer in college, and just being able to almost pace myself and prepare my body and my mind for what a long season is going to be for us. So,
Coach, you've been very busy on the recruiting trail. You had a huge class of freshmen a season ago. You bring in 9 more freshmen this season. I know last year when you talked about that group, you spoke about the energy that a freshman class can bring to a team. 16 underclassmen now with this group, just 4 upperclassmen. How do you kind of blend that group of young talent together? What are the challenges you have with so many, big returning players from a season ago and the new freshmen this year? And what have you seen from those guys that give you excitement?
It is the same. When you have that many freshmen, there's a lot of energy, and you do your best to try to get everyone to come together as a group with returners, their experience, and the new guys. Sometimes it's good to be young just because they don't know any better, so you can really establish what's important for our program and our team, what our standards are, and those guys fall in line. And our returners have done a great job with the culture that we've built, bringing these guys into the loop, showing them what it takes to win, showing them what it takes to be successful, what it takes to be a college basketball player. So that's the fun part, to watch them come together as a group, and we'll see once we start playing games, everything's different. Then you go from practice to the lights are on, and then you have to produce. So, but it's an exciting group. Like I said, I think we have some talent, and it's just a matter of us coming together, the new guys and the returners. So it'll be interesting. It's always a challenge, but it'll be fun.
Michael, for you, just one start a season ago as a freshman, but you seem to really find a nice role coming off the bench. You averaged the 3rd most minutes each night for the Crusaders, had 12.7 points per game, 3.8 rebounds. You shot over 40% from beyond the arc. So, statistically out there on the floor, you were a huge part of this team's success last year. What have you been working on in terms of your basketball game in the offseason, now heading into your sophomore season, in order to continue to grow as a player?
Well, my role this year may expand a little bit and continue to develop. So just this past offseason, working on different things, trying to get to the rim, try to get to the free throw line more often, and, being more of a force on the defensive end. So better defender as well.
Again, you're watching the SCAC Men's Basketball Media Days. It's day 3, and we're taking a look at the University of Dallas men's basketball program. The Crusaders, once again led by head coach Jared Samples and sophomore guard Michael Wambsganss, and both of them join us today. And Michael, getting back to you, offensively as a team last year, this group led the SCAC in points per game, averaging nearly 80 per contest, and shot a league best 47.4% from the field. Speak to what this offense does so well, and how do you try and continue those trends heading into this season?
Well, one big thing for us that coach has really been stressing this past year and in this camp as well is trying to push the pace, get shots in transition, and we've talked about how that starts on the defensive end of the court, rebounding the ball and then trying to get out and get to our shots. But I think coach does a good job of putting guys in the right position to get the right shots for them, and I think that's how we've been able to shoot the ball so well from the field is through the pick and roll we run and being able to get out in transition.
Coach, Michael talked about the offense and the success that they've had on that end of the floor. There are a ton of statistical categories that jumped out to me, but the thing I thought that maybe flew under the radar with this team a season ago was your rebounding ability, plus 3.3 per night, which was second best in the SCAC. How important is rebounding the basketball for this team specifically, and how do you continue that trend moving into this year?
Well, I think Mike touched on that. We do want to play fast and get out and in transition and try to be aggressive, but you can't do that unless you rebound on the defensive end. And we talk all the time, we have to finish our defense, and that's by all 5 guys hitting bodies and securing the ball, and then we go. So it's definitely a concern, can we continue to do that? Because we were a very good rebounding team last year, and keep my fingers crossed that we can continue to do that this year, because it is a vital piece to have the success we want to have on the offensive end to get us to go, and defense it's so important to finish your defense. Nothing's more hurts you more than working your tail off defensively, guarding, and then end up giving up an offensive rebound to a team. So rebounding is something that we're going to stress again this year, and like I said, hopefully we can have the same success that we did last year rebounding basketball.
And Michael, to wrap things up with you, this team is coming off such a great season, the 15 wins, the second most since Dallas had joined the SCAC, an 8-6 record in conference play, getting back to that SCAC tournament for the first time since 2015. As you look ahead to this year, though, what are some of those discussions in terms of the goals for the 2018-19 season? What did those look like for this team this year?
Well, I think first and foremost, our goal is to every day try to get 1% better. Every time we step on the court, whether it be practice or in game or in film, we've talked about as a team just enjoying the grind every day and working to get better each and every day. So I think that's our first goal. Another goal of ours is to finish in the top 6 in the conference and get to the conference tournament at TLU in February. And I think that starts with that first goal, which is to get better every single day and to enjoy the grind. And I think if we're able to accomplish that first goal, then whatever else we have in mind is going to take care of itself.
And finally, Coach, to wrap things up with you, for all the fans and people that support this program that will be coming out to watch Dallas basketball this season, what can they expect to see? What do you hope really becomes sort of the characteristics of this team that, regardless of the win or loss, that people can count on each day, day in, day out with this program this season?
Well, I hope when they see us play, I hope first of all they recognize that our guys compete and are playing hard every single night. We want to leave it all on the floor and look back and have no regrets. This next thing is you want hopefully they see that our guys are having fun out there. Something we talk about with our group all the time is enjoy this opportunity. There's a lot of people that would love to be in your shoes. You're playing college basketball, representing a great university, so let's be thankful and enjoy the opportunity that we have to be together as a group and to compete as a group. And then lastly, from an X's and O's standpoint, we want to play the same way we went last year. We want to play fast. We want to put a lot of points. I think that's an exciting brand of basketball to watch. So hopefully we can make some shots and get some stops, and the fans will enjoy that. Make my life a little bit easier. I would enjoy that, and it'll be a fun year.
University of Dallas men's basketball program, the Crusaders, will open up the 2018-19 season Thursday, November 15th on the road at Hendricks. Of course, the Crusaders again will be led by head coach Jared Samples and sophomore guard Michael Wambsganss. Coach Michael, thanks again so much for joining us today, and best of luck as you head into the 2018-19 year.
Thanks, Russell.
Appreciate it, Russell.